Welcome to Las Vegas and the 2025 HFA Trade Show, where I'm going to be talking to some of the industry leaders in the athlete recovery space to find out who they are, what they're all about, and what products they've got coming out in 2025. So let's go check them out. Therabody's grown massively in those last 4 years. You know, you guys have changed from Theragun to Therabody. You've acquired Recovery Pump. You've acquired PowerDot. Talk a little bit about what it took to take one individual product and transform it into a global brand.
The key to what we did was listening to our network. Theragun got us into a space that was not really known, and it translated from that space out. And as I started seeing that the guys using it in the training rooms of the best teams in the world at a really high performance level, if they relied on it, then that I had to take that information out, because it's science to them, it's science to us normal people.
Yeah.
I was in that space. I realized that Recovery Air, PowerDot, that was all part of what was happening in that same space. And it just sort of evolved. Yeah, of course I would love to have a big brand. That's not what I started out to do. I just wanted everyone to have a Theragun. But as I started seeing that and partnering with the guys at Recovery Pump, is what it was called.
Yeah.
Brian, like such a great guy. We had the same mission, was like, let's just help more people and have it make sense and make it accessible. So I think in the goal, the goal was to have this available to everybody. And I believe that if I have a dream that's bigger than anything I'll ever attain, then I will never stop working. I'm not like, I made it, you know?
Yeah.
So the global brand part has been just getting really good people, being able to share a message and education, teaching people how to help themselves. It's all part of that. And the brand, global brand and everything is sort of a side effect of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I wasn't building it for that, but we're on a mission. Like, we really want to help people and change their lives, get them out of pain.
Well, and I think having high quality products that people believe in also helps, you know, as people start to refer to other people because they had success and,
Right.
you know, it helped them. I think that's a testament to the products that you guys are producing as well, because people wouldn't keep buying it if it wasn't a high quality product. So for you, what was kind of the aha moment that Theragun was going to be kind of a big deal?
It happened a little bit over time. So I had some moments in the early days where I was like, man, when people figure this out, this is going to go everywhere. The couple of moments that hit me was, we call it the Kyrie Moment. Kyrie used it on the sidelines. You probably saw that. That was big. But how it happened is the magic of our brand. He became acquainted with it through a friend of mine who saw it at a show like this. And we've known each other for several years, and he took it back and we talked about how to use it in different settings. And so he got comfortable with it. So therefore Kyrie was comfortable with it. So there's this really cool chain of effects that happened. And seeing that happen, that's what got me excited. Knowing that we're taking this right path. Like, it was respected and trusted because of the way it was presented to Kyrie. And I wanted to do the same thing. So when I saw that, like, that was one of those moments where I'm like, man, this is working.
Yeah,
so yeah,
that's awesome. So you designed the first Theragun out of a necessity. Talk a little bit about how that device specifically has evolved from your first prototype to what we have today, which is really a multi-rehabilitative device.
Yeah.
Beyond just the percussive massage.
Well, you can imagine when you're doing something and you see it's working, you get more excited. So in the early days when I was making it, it was the attachments and the material and how it interchanged, the noise and all these things. And then once I realized we'd made such progress, then I started thinking, well, what else could I do? What else could I really add to this thing that I would want as a clinician? So I started asking guys, because we created a white space. So suddenly now a physician would have this in his hand. Well, before he didn't. So I couldn't ask him, hey, what more would you want on this thing? So the more hands it got into and the more applications, the more requests we got back. So we were like, could we put that in there? What if we did this? And, one of the things that was a big challenge was whether or not we remove that rotating arm, That was a tough one. Trust me, that we duked it out in those innovation rooms. But just trying to evolve to where it can be in more places, more people can use it. To see where it is today, Patrick, it's so motivating, But I feel like where we're at right now, it's kind of like, let's not mess with it. Like it's actually really pretty good right now. So we're working on some attachments, some different like real good applications. But I still get excited. I'm not done.
Well, I do say it's been really cool to see how that one device has evolved in an entire line of different massage guns, because obviously, your first one was really designed for the medical setting per se, in an office setting. And now you've got, the devices with the different stroke lengths, all the different things for people that might think it's too aggressive and things like that. So I think for me personally, as a consumer, that's been really cool. But I'd love to talk a little bit about the future of the brand now as well. And so I know you guys are very, very big, especially in the last year, of really promoting the science behind your products. Yeah. How important is that to you as you develop new products, that you continue to stay true to that side of the product and not just putting out products that, are just trying to sell?
It'd be easy to become a product company. The number of suggestions and requests we get that are just would be cool. But to your point about the science, it said a couple of things. In the early days, I realized that there was a certain hurdle that I had to get past. And the only way I could do that was with science. So working with a physio at a Premier League team in the UK, where they're really a lot less tolerable than the US when it comes to modalities in those settings. So I realized I kept hitting his ceiling. Like, he's like, hey man, I just need to know the science of this stuff. I got to know what I'm doing. And I'm a chiropractor. I didn't come from the research area. So I was assuming if he knew what it was doing and he was using it in the right way, why would he not continue to do that? But I hit this wall and I realized I got to have some studies. So I started reaching out. Hey, how can I, how do you create it? I didn't know how even the Chat GPT wasn't around back then, So I found Tim, who's here today, and we started talking about like, okay, how could we really do this? Like, what does that really look like? And I told him, look, I have to walk in and show them this. How do I get that? And so he created that. Once we started getting that, I saw the doors just open up, and it was just like, no question, no question. I mean, one guy would call another guy and be like, yeah, it does this. I wouldn't have to say anything. So for me, that's like our magic unlock.
Yeah.
Maybe not always at retail level, but I think for people that are really aging, because there's going to be more people that are older over the next little while. That's our joints. You're going to want stuff that works. I think the way the world is working right now, you want to trust the things you're using, because we're not going to be able to believe what we're watching anymore. You know what I mean? Let alone like where we're buying stuff. So for me, that was always a pillar. We had to have the science part of it with every product. So if there's not science that backs it in one of the first steps, like I'll call Tim and say, hey, I'll give you an example. We're talking about a performance product that is really relatively unknown. And I want to know, is there science behind this? Because I'm getting asked for this thing. And so we're researching, like, let's see if it is. And if it is, what is it really? And is it worth the squeeze? Like, we go through and make something really cool, put our name on it. Is it sitting in Olympic training centers on the floor, no one's using it? Or is it actually out there? So and that science is a big piece of it.
That's one part of it that I've really admired, and really is true when you start to look at a broader audience, how important it is to have that trust level from people to know that this is actually doing something for me and they've tested it to make sure that it is. My last question for you would be, as we look towards 2025, what's the one thing that you're most excited about for Therabody?
I love that question. I always ask people that question. What are you most excited about? What I'm most excited about, the timing of our team and how long they've been together, because we went through a lot of changes after COVID and was internal changes on different, and we sort of streamlined our verticals we're going after, which is performance, wellness, and beauty, and then a women's vertical. The fact that we're actually kind of all coming together and learning how to talk about the brand and communicate, I'm excited because it shows me how much more we can grow, and they're just hitting their clip. So just knowing what's coming this year, knowing kind of where they are with their marketing, where we are with our products, we got a really good cadence going right now. So that's probably the most I'm excited. I have some really cool products we're working on. I have one that's been dear to me for a while, and we just haven't been able to resolve it. Imagine how it would feel having Theragun on your back and you're not doing it. Neither is someone else. So that's the one I'm stoked.
Leave us a little cliffhanger there. Yeah. Well, I appreciate it so much, Jason. We look forward to seeing what's for the future of Therabody, and anybody else that's here. watching along, just stay tuned for the next evolution of recovery products from Therabody. Thanks, Jason.